So for this session you'll need a yoga block, a pillow, or just a folded up jumper. And we're going to start with our T spine segmentation. So if you sit on top of that yoga block or pillow or whatever you have, and just start with your flexion and extension. So if you need to sit a little bit higher just to make it more comfortable, then do so. But we're going to try and block the hips and the lower back and just work flexion extension to begin with. So 4 reps in total, trying to separate the vertebrae as much as you can. Once you've done that, you're going to do the same again, but go from side to side. So use that rib cage as a point of reference to try and move that from left to right and keep your lower back in a reasonably neutral position. So once you've done 4 reps going side to side, you'll do 4 rotations going left to right. So because you're sat down, you're going to be blocked here at the hip, so you shouldn't feel like they want to drag around, but still focus on trying to get the rotation through your T-spine and not your lower back. So have a bit of a move around in between. And then you're going to set yourself up again and you're going to do a 3D rotation of your T-spine. So we'll put everything together. So forward flexion, and then you're going to rotate to one side. From there you'll then side bend, and now you're going to draw a big extension going all the way around and back to the opposite side. So you should end up side bending the opposite side, rotate in front, and then extend back up to the top. And then repeat, go in the other direction. So forward flexion, rotation, side bend, extension and rotation round to the opposite side, end up in a side bend, rotate to the middle, and extend up to the top. So again, just have a bit of a move around here. I'm just going to shift sideways so you can see from a side-on view, and you're going to do another set of the same thing. So forward flexion, rotation, side bend, extension and rotation, again using the rib cage as a reference point to move, end up in a side bend on the other side, rotate to the middle and extend through the T-spine up to the top. Straight into the next set. So flexion, rotation, side bend, extension and rotation all the way around to the opposite side, staying nice and tall, side bend, rotation, and then extension up to the top. So once you're done with that, if you just jump yourself up onto your feet, and we're going to do some 3D rotations through our shoulder, but we're going to break down some variations before doing the whole thing. So if you stand and then externally rotate your shoulder, and then you're going to adduct and rotate your arm in front of your body, so drawing a nice big rotation until the arm's overhead. You'll hold that external rotation and then draw the rotation back in front of your body. From here you'll go the other way, so you're going to internally rotate and then try and follow the same arc and then hold that internal rotation until the arm is overhead. Again, coming back in front of your body and end up in your start position. Then do the same again but going behind you. So arm overhead, you're going to internally rotate and draw the arm behind you, so end up in a nice extended position. Try and hold that internal rotation and bring the arm back and round. It will start to rotate, but that's absolutely fine. Just keep yourself nice and strong with your torso pointing forward. So from here you're going to rotate externally and then try to draw that rotation behind you. So just go with your limitations, try not to force anything, and just allow that arm to rotate inside the shoulder socket. And then you should end up overhead, and then just bring the arm in front of you and you can have a bit of a move around, and do the same on the other side. So external rotation, and then draw that arc in front of your body. Hold the rotation until your arm's by your side, and then you're going to internally rotate and do the same thing. All the way overhead, and then controlling it back round to the arms at the side. And then you go overhead and do the same thing going behind you. So internal rotation, drawing the arm behind you into that extension pattern, and then try and hold that internal rotation as best you can, and feel the upper arm rotate inside the shoulder socket. And then you're going to externally rotate and do the same thing, pushing that arm behind you till your arm's by your side, and then pushing back and around until the arm is overhead. So from here we're going to do our fixed path 3D rotation of our shoulder. So you're going to start with external rotation of the arm, and then bringing the arm round in front of your body till your arm's overhead. And then internal rotation and pushing the arm back behind you. Try and hold that internal rotation, draw that circle all the way around to your side until your arm's overhead. From here you're going to externally rotate and draw that rotation round in front of your body. Cool. Same on the other side, so external rotation. Draw the arc in front of you. Arm overhead, then you go to internal rotation. Draw the arc and the circle behind you till your arm's by your side. Hold that internal rotation as best you can. Bring the arm all the way around until you're overhead, and then externally rotate. Draw the arc in front of your body. So next you just need to set up in a all fours position, and you're going to go into some scap push-ups just to try and get your scapulars moving around the back of your rib cage. So just go into 5 repetitions, keeping the elbows locked so all the movement comes from your scap. Really concentrate on keeping your lower back in a neutral position, and just get those 5 reps done just to get some movement. And in between each one of these you're going to go into a resting wrist position. Just hold your wrist in flexion, and we're going to start with our rotations, and you're going to do 5 rotations in each direction. So again, elbows stay locked, and slowly try and find the outer range of what your scapula can do. So nice and slow and controlled. Keep the head neutral, so that's not the thing driving the movement round. It's going to be all coming from your scapula and a little assistance from the actual shoulder joint as well. So once you've done 5 repetitions in one direction, just reverse it and go immediately back into the other direction. Once you're done, just sit yourself back, go into your resting wrist position, give yourself a breather, and then next you're going to do the same thing but a single arm variation. So just putting a bit more emphasis on one side, and you're going to do 5 repetitions in each direction again. But what you can do to try and hold like a reasonably stable position is just put your other arm in front of your chest and try and keep your shoulders parallel to each other and sort of square to the floor. So same again, 5 repetitions in that outer range going in each direction. Once you've done your 5 reps in each direction, do exactly the same on the other side. Once you've done your 5 repetitions in each direction, just sit yourself back, give your wrists a bit of a rest, and And then next we're going to do a prone T spine segmentation. So you're going to set yourself up on all fours, but you're going to lean forward onto your arms by picking your feet off the ground and really trying to emphasize putting the weight forward onto your hands. So this will block out the lower back a little bit and emphasize the T spine. So from here you're going to go up into flexion and then start to segment your spine bottom up all the way from your hips through to the base of your neck. Once you're in full extension, you'll then work back into flexion, again going bottom up. Try and keep the weight forward on your hands all the way through. Okay, so bottom up again, going through into extension. So you'll get through your lower back pretty easily, and then try and separate your T-spine as best as you can into extension. Last run, bottom up, working through into flexion, taking your time, and then once you finish, you can sit back and give your wrists a rest. Okay, you can do another 4 runs, but this time you're going to work top down, so you're going to lead with your head. So we'll start in flexion again. This time start to move your head up, and then you're going to work into extension, top down. So it's down through your T-spine into your lower back. Then into flexion, so head's going to drop, and you're going to follow that wave of flexion, lifting everything up, all the way down, still all the way down to your lower back. And then 2 more runs the same again, so lifting the head up, following that extension pattern, top down. Last one, so slowly dropping the head, going through from the upper back all the way down through to the lower back into flexion. And again, once you're done, just sit yourself back and let your wrist go into flexion. So next we're going to go into an all fours position, but we're going to pin one hand down and you're going to eccentrically load the sort of posterior part of your shoulder into your upper back. So you can see here I'm going to rotate the opposite way to the hand that's been pinned and then lower myself down. Lift yourself up to the top, you can slightly change the hand position and then go again. So slowly rotating away from the pinned hand. Change the hand position if needed, drop the elbow onto the floor and then push across to really eccentrically load the posterior part of that shoulder. So vary the hand position and place yourself where you need to be to get the best loading pattern you can. Once you've done 4 on one side, you do exactly the same on the other side. So pin yourself down, pin that hand, and then start to rotate the opposite way and eccentrically load that rear part of the shoulder. Lift yourself up in between, change the hand position, go again. Make sure your feet and your knees are in a pretty wide position here because you're going to want to feel like you've got a good base of support to be able to load that shoulder. Once you've done your 4 reps, just have a bit of a move around to try and loosen off. So next you're going to go into a prone position lying on the floor, and you're going to use your block or folded up jumper just to put your hands on top of. So if you lie down on your front, put your forehead down on the ground and then your hands over the top of your head with your little fingers on top of your block. So just set yourself up in that position and get comfortable. And then from here we're going to do 2 things. So you're going to do an active PNF where you're going to push your hands down into that block for 5 seconds. You're then going to lift for 5 seconds and then immediately go into an end range strength movement where you're going to draw your arms all the way around back and behind you. So they're sometimes known as prone swimmers. So you've got a pairing here. So once you're set up in that position, just relax so you can let your shoulders get used to being in that extended position. And now you're going to start pushing down into the ground. So keep pushing down, keep pushing down. Now start to lift. So lift the arms up, keep holding up, and then slowly start to rotate around to your side. As soon as you get in line with your shoulders, internally rotate, and then bring your arms all the way around back and behind you until they're connected. Push the hands down onto the lower back, protract the shoulders forward, and then reverse. So lift up, hands go up, and now a big arc all the way around. As soon as your arms are in line with your shoulders, bring your thumbs up so they're pointing up to the sky, all the way around in front of you, and then rest on top of your block. So stay in that position. You can move around if you need to. We're going to be there for around sort of 15-ish seconds, and then we're going to do the same again. Okay, so we've got 2 more sets to go. So get yourself set up here, so little fingers pointing down into your block, and then you're going to start slowly ramping up, and now push down into the block. So 5 seconds pushing down, keep pushing, and now 5 seconds lifting up. So thumbs up to the sky as high as you can, 5 seconds, and then start to go through your rotation. So arms in line with the shoulder, internally rotate, and then keep bringing them all the way around, back and behind you until your hands are connected. Push down, so protract your shoulders forward, and now reverse the process. So lift your arms up as high as you can and bring them all the way around, end range position, in line with your shoulders, and keep moving around until your thumbs are up, and then you can rest your hands on top of your block again. Okay, so get yourself set up, last set here. So again, a comfortable position, and you're going to start ramping up here, so pushing your little fingers down into the block. 5 seconds, ready, and go. So pushing down, squeezing down into the ground, keep going, and then lift up for 5 seconds, so thumbs up to the sky, keep pushing, and then immediately go all the way around into your rotation again. So internally rotate when you're in line with your shoulders, and try and keep your hands away from the floor as best as you can. So bringing the hands all the way around until they connect behind your back. Slowly lower down, pushing your shoulders forward into the ground. Now retracting back, lifting the hands up as high as you can, and bringing the arms all the way around as wide as you can. Once they're in line with the shoulders, thumbs go up to the sky, and bring them round over the top of your head, and then you can rest on top of your block. So give yourself a decent rest here, get yourself out of that position. Just have a bit of a move around any way you feel you need to. So for our last one, you're going to go into your prone position again, and you're going to set yourself up as if you were going to do a push-up on your knuckles. So you're going to go face down, supporting your forehead, and keep your knuckles and elbows tucked in next to your body. So once you're set up in that position, we're going to go into our active pier. So you'll be pushing your knuckles down into the ground. So again, make sure you've got something soft underneath your knuckles. And then you're going to attempt to lift your elbow and knuckles directly up towards the ceiling for 5 seconds. Once you've done that, you'll then extend back as if you were going to do a tricep extension. Okay, so set yourself up, ready, start to push down. So 5 seconds pushing your whole body weight down into the ground. Keep driving through, then lift the knuckles and elbows directly up. Keep lifting, and now start to extend back, lifting the shoulders and arms away from the ground. As you bring them back in, same again, keep lifting up nice and high, all the way around, and then rest in your start position. Okay, so get yourself set up and ready to go again. So knuckles down, elbows tucked, start weight bearing down, ready, and push. So push your weight down into your knuckles, down into the ground. Keep going, and now lift. So elbows and knuckles off the floor, and then start to extend behind you. Keeping the shoulders up as high as you can, extend all the way back. Drag your arms back in, away from the ground, and then rest. Okay, so get yourself ready for the last set. So knuckles and elbows nice and tight to your torso. Start weight bearing down on top of your knuckles. Ready, and push. So 5 seconds pushing down. Keep going, and lift. So try and lift your knuckles and elbows up as high as you can, and now start to extend back. So pushing all the way back into full extension. So bringing the hands back underneath you as high as you can, and then slowly go into your rest position. So from here you can get yourself out of that position, have a bit of a move around, and your session is done.